When I was in college, I was the person in my group of friends who always managed to lose things on a night out. If you can relate, I'm sorry on behalf of all of us who are like that. And some of the times I would get lucky and find the things that I left behind. One particular moment was when I found my photo ID and credit card zipped into a bag of sliced cheese in the refrigerator. Connecting the dots simply because, come home for a midnight snack, eat some cheese, credit card, sliced cheese, can get a little confusing at that hour after a couple drinks. Many times, though, the things were lost for good. One example that I happened to document on a Facebook status during my freshman year of college said something along the lines of, "Fuck 19 beers, I left my Ray-Bans in a cornfield." I like to think that I'm pretty sure I embellished the first half of that status, considering I'm standing here in front of all of you today. But the ultimate lost and found story from my college years was when I got invited to something called Phi Delta Cabin. It was a frat on our campus, and they hosted this off-campus party in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. All sounds like a great idea now, telling this 12 years later. And I was so excited to get invited to go. Like, to put it in perspective, if you were telling a 7-year-old that they were going to Disney World tomorrow, that's the level of excited I was. I was 19, 20 years old. I didn't know any better. That was living to me. That was hitting the jackpot to me. So, I donned my Han Solo J. Crew lumberjack vibe outfit, if you know, you know, like all the other girlies who were going, and we, drove the 2 hours to middle of nowhere vacation homes in Ohio, which sounds like something made up, but there are vacation homes in Ohio. And in a 14-person bed cabin, there were about 50 plus of us drinking bad beer, playing beer pong, slap cup. My preferred drink of choice was actually the mystery substance mixed in a giant bathtub that was red colored. And we had a good night. And I partied my butt off and had a good time. But one of the key things about Phi Delta Cabin, because again, we're in like a 14-sleeper house with 50 plus people, is trying to secure your spot of real estate at night of where you're sleeping. And most of the time, it wasn't going to be a bedroom, unless you were, dating someone or were having a good time later that night. You were, looking at trying to find a piece of carpet to just rest for a couple hours. And then as a woman at that party, you were getting up and going at like 5 a.m, gathering your crew, getting back in the car to go. Well, I failed that assignment, unfortunately, to get some shut-eye and leave bright and early, because I missed the corralling and I missed the carpool of my friends and other women who were gathering to leave at 5 a.m, because I was lost. I was lost somewhere, and I was not found. I was not found until way later in the morning, maybe even almost noon, when all the frat guys were cleaning up the house to try and get their security deposit back, which was not hopeful at all. When they removed the tarps that they had to protect the carpet from all the beer pong playing, when they lifted a beer-filled one up, and they found me curled up underneath a nice blue tarp, fast asleep, because I guess at night that looked like a great place to catch some couple hours of sleep. So I woke up. I will never forget this. I woke up to the sound of a guy going, "Dude, is she dead?" Good thing for them I wasn't, because statistically that does not look a good scene for them. Luckily they were all headed back to campus, so I was able to grab a ride. Of course, my phone was dead, so I start charging that, and my phone is just blowing up with text after text of, "Where are you, Ann? Are you okay? We thought you were in this car, not this car. Like, we assumed you had already left." So I was able to reassure them that I was quite okay. And then the next day, as I'm walking around Academic Quad going to classes, I come to find that I earned myself a new nickname over that weekend, Tarp Girl. But I'm happy to report that Tarp Girl finished out the rest of her college career doing pretty okay. She's found herself entering grad school after that and getting married, moving back to her hometown of Lancaster, PA to buy a house. Also found herself realizing and being diagnosed with ADHD, and getting medicated, so finding herself not losing quite as many things these days anymore. And also finding herself lost and found many, many times over the last 11, 12 years since the TARP incident. But I will say I feel quite confident that TARP girl will never have to find herself lost beneath a tarp again. Thank you.